Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect the complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding. Welcome to the TezDown. How you guys doing today? I'm your boy Tez, and I got a show for you guys this afternoon. We're going to talk about a lot of subjects, really just 3 today. In today's episode, you're going to find out what happened. It's the anniversary of the LA riots and everything that happened with Rodney King. We're going to check in with Gil's Arena to find out what's going on over there in that debacle, and then we're going to get some perspective towards the end on why men are declining in today's society. So, you guys get ready. We got a full show planned for you today, and we're going to try to get this in concisely. That's the word that we're using for that right now. Today's show is called Indifferent Opinions. Indifferent Opinions. Yes, it is a play on words. That's how we're going to do that today. Indifferent Opinions. Let's get started with the LA riots and Rodney King. Let's get going.
The Los Angeles riot was one of the most damaging incidents in the city's history. Violence surged around the city, injured residents, and destroyed businesses for good. It is critical to reflect on past events so that we do not repeat the same mistakes in the future. Unfortunately, America still has many incidents when it comes to blacks in America and police brutality. However, the past can still teach us valuable lessons. Today's video focuses on the 1992 Los Angeles riot and the Rodney King beating. We'll look at what caused it, why it happened, how much damage was done, how long it lasted, and how much it cost in today's money. The Los Angeles riot of 1992 was a large outbreak of violence, looting, and burning in Los Angeles that began on April 29, 1992, in response to the acquittal of 4 white Los Angeles police officers on all but one charge related to the brutal beating of an African-American motorist in March of 1991. More than 50 people were murdered, over 2,300 were injured, and thousands were detained as a result of several days of riots. The riots were one of the most severe civil disruptions in American history, destroying around 1,100 structures and causing total property damage of approximately $1 billion, which is approximately $2 billion in today's money. Fury over the acquittal erupted onto the streets, fueled by years of racial and economic injustice in the city, resulting in 5 days of rioting in Los Angeles. It sparked a national debate about racial and economic disparities, as well as police use of force, which is still going on today. Rodney King, who was on parole for robbery at the time, had led police on a high-speed chase through Los Angeles a year earlier. He was ultimately charged with driving under the influence. When the cops finally pulled him over, King was forced out of the vehicle. Officers from the Los Angeles Police Department then kicked him repeatedly and beat him with batons for a claimed 15 minutes. A bystander who witnessed police officers viciously beating Rodney King captured gruesome video of the attack, which was transmitted into homes across the country and around the world. According to the footage, more than a dozen cops stood by, witnessing and commenting on the abuse. King suffered skull fractures, fractured bones and teeth, and irreversible brain damage as a result of the beatings. 4 officers were eventually charged with excessive force. A year later, on April 29, 1992, a jury of 12 Ventura County residents, 9 white, 1 Latino, 1 mixed, and 1 Asian, found the 4 officers not guilty. The acquittals were announced at about 3 p.m., and the riots began less than 3 hours later. Residents set fire to liquor stores, grocery stores, retail businesses, and fast food restaurants, looting and destroying them.
The people of LA, the people of LA were not happy. You see, this is Exhibit A on what happens when the people grow unhappy with the regime and what the regime is choosing to do. This wasn't an acquittal. This was literally a kangaroo court where they were going to let these guys off for doing what they did to Rodney King, regardless of what the facts were. And LA wasn't having it. They stood up for themselves.
Light-skinned drivers, both white and Latino, were targeted. Some were dragged from their vehicles and attacked. The reason to the acquittal was particularly violent in South Central Los Angeles, today known simply as South Los Angeles. At the time, black people made up more than half of the population. In the years leading up to the riots, tensions in the neighborhood had been building. The unemployment rate was around 50%. A drug epidemic ravaged the region, and gang activity and violent crime were rampant. Another factor, in the same month as Rodney King's beating, a Korean store owner in South Los Angeles shot and murdered Latasha Harlins, a 15-year-old African-American girl accused of stealing orange juice. Harlins was later revealed to be holding money to pay for the juice when she was slain. The store owner was sentenced to probation and a $500 fine. The incident exasperated tensions between Koreans and African Americans, as well as the black community's dissatisfaction with the criminal justice system. At the same time, the community's resentment of the Los Angeles police was growing. African Americans reported being harassed without cause rather than feeling protected during times of need. According to lawyer and civil rights activist Connie Rice, the LAPD was almost an occupying force at the time, particularly discriminatory against persons of color. What we had was aggressive paramilitary police in communities of color, particularly impoverished communities of color, with a culture that was harsh and brutal, racist and abusive of force, Rice says in an interview. There was an explicit campaign to restrict and confine the black community, she claims. LAPD didn't even feel it was essential to differentiate between stopping a suspected criminal when they had probable cause to stop and simply stopping African-American judges, senators, notable athletes, and celebrities because they were driving good cars. According to news sources and first-hand testimony from the last 30 years, the riots began at a South Los Angeles crossroads called Florence and Normandy. Terry Barnett, a bystander, was near Florence and Normandy that first night and recalls seeing cops drive right by rioters without stopping. She and her boyfriend, along with two other African-American strangers, assisted in the rescue of a white truck driver named Reginald Denny, who had been assaulted violently by rioting gang members who had pulled Denny out of his truck. Denny was put back into his truck by Barnett, her boyfriend, and two strangers who drove him to the hospital and saved his life. One of the most surprising aspects of the 1992 Los Angeles riots was the LAPD's response, which was none at all. That night, the LAPD chief Daryl Gates went to speak at a fundraiser in West Los Angeles and repeatedly ordered cops to leave. Police did not respond to reports of looting and violence in the city for over 3 hours after.
That seems like a mighty long time to not be doing your job, doesn't it?
The initial unrest began. The incident at Florence and Normandy was repeated throughout the night by rioters all around the city. That night, shortly before 9 p.m., Mayor Tom Bradley declared a state of emergency, and California Governor Pete Wilson directed 2,000 National Guardsmen to report to the city. Rodney King attempted to publicly appeal to the Los Angeles people to halt fighting on May 1st, the third day of the riots. During the 5 days of disturbance, moreover, 50 individuals were killed in riot-related incidents, including 10 persons who were shot and killed by LAPD officers and National Guardsmen. More than 2,000 individuals were hurt, and approximately 6,000 people were arrested as alleged looters and arsonists. According to Rand Corporation, 36% of those jailed during the riots were African Americans and 51% were Latinos. The riots also affected daily life. A municipal curfew was declared from sundown to morning. Mail delivery was halted, and most citizens were unable to go to work or school. More than 1,000 structures were damaged or destroyed, as were nearly 2,000 Korean-owned companies. In total, about $1 billion in property was destroyed. In terms of purchasing power, $1 billion in 1992 is equivalent to nearly $2.06 billion today, a $1.06 billion rise over 30 years. Between 1992 and the present, the dollar saw an average annual inflation rate of 2.44%. Resulting in a cumulative price increase of 106.06%. The municipal curfew was eventually removed on May 4th morning. Residents gradually returned to their normal routines. However, the Rodney King beating and the Los Angeles riots erupted from unresolved socioeconomic issues. That horrifying, blurry footage of his beating would be the first in a long line of viral police brutality videos. Let us now discuss some major factors 30 years after the event. Rodney King was awarded a settlement following the civil trial. After 2 of the officers who had assaulted him were convicted in a civil suit of breaching his civil rights, King earned a $3.8 million compensation from Los Angeles. In the Los Angeles suburb of Rialto, he bought a modest house for his mother and one for himself, and he periodically spoke with at-risk children at the request of local police. King was a recovering alcoholic. King was discovered unconscious at the bottom of his swimming pool in 2012. His autopsy revealed that he had narcotics and alcohol in his system at the time of his death. He was 47 years old. Stacy Kuhn and Lawrence Powell.
Hey, I want you guys to know something. When they did find him, there were some very weird things that they found. So you guys already got the disclaimer. They be taking care of people out there, if you know what I'm saying. You know, everything alleged for content creation and the edutainment of those who are watching the stream today. But as you guys can see, and I'm gonna blow it up a little bit for that, there is power that can go to the people. Now, the riots, it was a way to get stuff done. They needed reform. They needed change to the point of where Los Angeles has completely changed the name of the town. They don't call it South Central LA anymore. It's now Southern Los Angeles. It's no longer South Central, and that's because they took over. They got tired of what was going on. The economy was horrible there, over 50% unemployment rates. And then you have the disproportionate policing process, the National Guard killing people. Okay, once again, this stuff has happened before. And if y'all think that it can't happen to you, it probably will. Just the way that it works. Being passive isn't going to help you, not when stuff like this happens. And that was in 1992. Imagine what could happen now. They didn't even have proper cell phones back then. Come on now. Could you imagine calling up everybody and saying, we're going to do something about this right now? Are we lazy? Is that the reason that we have these problems? Look, I'm going to tell you guys straight up. I'll be the first person to jump outside of his body and say, well, they're not going to do it to me. It's not that they wouldn't try. It's not that they wouldn't try to do it to me. It's that when they try, I have something for them. And you should too. Y'all got to be ready to stand up for what you believe in at some point. If you never stand up for what you believe in, you're spineless. If you never stand up for what you believe in, you might be a coward. You might be afraid. I'm just saying, stand up for what you believe in. And sometimes stuff like this happens. That's when they wake up. That's when they realize what they've done. Everybody got a plan until they get bopped in the face. That's what Mike Tyson said, but I had to switch the words up. It's YouTube. YouTube doesn't necessarily let us say anything that we want to say. So let's get him up out of here. So, guys, for the next portion of today's episode, it's going to be purely reactionary. I haven't seen these videos. If I have a question, I'm going to stop and I'm going to talk about it like I always do. These guys have been with each other for quite a while now, and they've gotten signed by, I believe, Underdog to I believe it's Underdog that signed them to do everything that they're doing with their podcast show. And let me tell you, there is some things do get in the way when people have differences of opinions. Some things get in the way when you have an indifference of opinion. But when you guys are together as a group, there's indifferent opinions. And sometimes that bothers people. It might be bothering one of them right now. And that could be why they're not getting along. You would think they ground up everything for so many years to get to the level that they were at. And they finally got the money that they wanted. They finally had the notoriety that they wanted. They have the following that they wanted. Now, we're talking about, for the most part, professional athletes, people who are already famous. And you would think that it would be enough. But once they switch gears, what's up, Rain? How you doing? Rain, Soft Rain in the building, y'all. We got Soft Rain in the building. We got Classic in the building. What's up, Roxy? How you doing, Roxy? Nice to see y'all bright and early in the morning. How's everybody else doing today? We're going to take a look at them and see what they're talking about. And then we're going to see if we can analyze this the way that we analyze things down, the way we break down tape, the way we talk about the social aspect of life that we live in on a daily basis. This is the TezDown. This is sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. And we got a little bit of both coming up in this next segment and in this next clip. It's the Gills Arena debacle. Let's see what these boys are talking about. I'm gonna have to turn up the speed on it so we can watch this. And they talk slow sometimes. So if it starts moving too fast, you guys let me know that it's moving too fast. But until then, we're gonna keep that speed going, and we're gonna keep on moving right on down the aisle the way that we need to. I just love when that happens every time.
On social media, obviously some things you want to address. The floor is yours, sir.
I just got a question to y'all first. I mean, I can predict the answers, but just for my own collective memory bank, for knowing me for as long as y'all know me, do I look like a type of nigga that would duck smoke or quit?
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
That's one answer. Kenyon?
no, I don't see that in you.
Hey, they started off on the wrong foot. As you can see, there's some animosity here. And this might have been brewing for quite some time. I've never seen, in the middle is Gilbert Arenas. You know what I mean? You have Kenyon Martin, Rashad McCants. You're going to see some other names in here. We're going to let them tell their stories. What's going on, Bridget? I need some friends. We can give each other $15,000 gifts. Right, there you go. What's up, Passports Go? How you doing, man?
Like, I don't.
Brandon?
I don't.
No, I don't see it.
My person.
Okay, so we got one nigga
Why
on
y'all
the
lying, dog?
we got one nigga that don't respect.
And quit. He didn't want to play no more. Why y'all
We
playing?
got one nigga that don't respect me. So now the chat can hear that. So with that being said, anybody out there that thinks that I would duck or quit with any nigga in front of me for any reason got me fucked up. One, it was cute the first time when niggas tried to line me up and bring a nigga on the show and help him get his views up. For all that nigga to just leave the set right after I go to the bathroom, and nobody knows I tried to line it up with him and he ducked, and then karma caught up with him for you can't lie on God and then think nothing gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga just got out of jail for that, I guess. So you got these other niggas that don't like me. I guess when niggas don't like you, you expect them to say anything good about you.
Oh, boy!
That stuff is
Nigga, you got some shit on. If you done some shit to some niggas, you think they gonna sit around together and kumbaya talking good about you, especially when you rising. Niggas out here, they out here. We moving. I'm out here 85% in the chat. Niggas don't like that. But when I start getting group chats and niggas sending me screenshot where niggas is saying, all right, see y'all niggas all together. Y'all want to attack the God. All right, cool.
Are you kidding me?
But I've been nice for a long time. I've been trying to be corporate and professional on this platform, man. I don't never go at nobody personal. But when niggas start doing what they doing, I gotta set the record straight, bro. Like D-Will, I used to belt to ass that boy, bro. It's my son. He knows it. Raymond Felton, come on, hey, what we talking about? We giving these niggas power, right? Charlie Villanueva, nigga said I was sick in a workout. I think I got sick right after I tomahawk dunked on his ass and I threw up. I almost threw up on him. After I yelled so loud, I almost threw up on him. They told me to come back the next day. I used to do race so bad in practice that it just like it still lingered. 20 years later, niggas still talking about shit 20 years later. Why you didn't say this shit when it happened? Because you lying. So if niggas lying on my name just to get clicks on Out the Mud, y'all niggas ain't gonna reach that Kobe 81 numbers without me back on that show, my nigga. Y'all gotta start figuring out what the algorithm is. Put my name in the chat, Ojo. Come on, man, say my name. You know, Kenyon gonna knock your face off. Kenyon don't even play like that. So yeah, it's cool to try to box a 6'9" nigga, but you come on, man, what we doing? I know none of these niggas like me, so I don't be looking for no friends. And when niggas don't respect you, you ain't gonna be no friends. But I'm unfuckwittable. You niggas not fucking with me, and I ain't never ducking shit. So if a nigga want to step up and see me outside, here's the time too. We can go to the court, we can get in the ring, we can do whatever. That goes for Pat, Darren, Ray, Theo, the sick nigga. You got a sick nigga, a fat nigga, and an ugly nigga. All on one pot.
God damn, Jimmy. This
Cool.
some serious gourmet
So if you
shit.
ain't got no respect, my nigga, it's gonna be mutual. I don't got no respect either. So now that we know what it is, you know, niggas think that I would quit, then you obviously know I don't fuck with you. Niggas that know I ain't on that business, niggas know where I'm from. We don't get down like that. So it is what it is.
I think that last one before me, but You asked me a question, and I said yes. And the reason I said yes is one.
It's already obvious, Gil.
No, nigga, you asked me.
Yo, before we even go there, like, okay, how did it get to this point? Like, I don't know this whole beat because I have been watching them this whole time. You know, I'd be having stuff to do. But I'm watching this and I'm asking myself this question. How did it even get to this point? How did it get to the point where there's so much animosity that's been built up for guys that have known each other for 25, 30 years? How? Everybody came here rich. How do y'all still have beef and animosity? I want to know. Because is it just the money? Is it just the money? Is that the problem? Is it the power, the respect, or the money? Is it the platform? What is it? I want to know. So I'm watching to find out, because so far I haven't gotten all my answers. But Gil's gonna say what his opinion is next. I'm pretty sure as to why he does believe that this dude quits on everybody and himself. So I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea. I never watched him this close. Classics hit. Ninjas be emotional ASF, Tez. I mean, that's what's going on right now. There's a lot of them. Look, there's a lot of emotions that are in this clip so far. It's a lot. I don't know why, but there is. He said it's the ego. It's they sensitive. Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like so far.
Question. We had a what's the name match. You didn't
put it in the chat, bro. Ask him if it's obvious.
Hold on.
Joe.
I don't give a fuck what they talking about. We just gonna get to the fact. The fact was on the rematch, you didn't want to do it. So to me, that's quick. The second one was you said in video games, if you win the first game,
you just made that shit up. Yo, I can't believe you would just make that shit up.
You win the first game,
you
like
just made that shit up,
match, and you win the first game. You're
Brandon.
not.
You hear this nigga just make that shit up, Brandon?
Brandon, did he not say that?
Did you just hear this nigga make this shit up to try to make himself look good?
Chat, did he not
say
if he ever wins the first of something, he's never playing the person no more, and that's why he never wanted to shoot out again? Was that not?
We shot again, Gilbert. I beat you 10-1. I beat you 10-1, and then I beat you again.
Yes, was that not a thing?
I beat you twice.
Wait, hold on. You asked me a question. Was that not a thing, Brandon?
Hey, yo, that was on Battle Mode, right? That was on Battle Mode. Who was in the thing?
I know what the fuck you talking about.
What was on Battle Mode?
You did say, once I beat you, I'm not playing you no more. You did say that.
And I played him again.
No, you didn't. You
played twice, bro. We shot twice. We shot twice.
Brother, see,
we shot twice.
I was trolling you off of
what you trolling shit. You niggas didn't even invite me back to the battle mode because I was whooping niggas' ass. Tell the truth, bro. Tell the truth, nigga.
I know you and your
Tell the truth, nigga. The reason I wasn't there is because I'm the king, nigga, and I kick niggas' ass on everything from video games, 2-on-2, 1-on-1, shooting. You can't beat me in nothing. Tell people the truth, nigga.
Okay, cool. That wasn't
all right. Ain't no quit. Hey, how a nigga can quit if a nigga ain't invited?
Okay, you asked me a question.
Hey, Brandon, if I'm not invited, how can I quit?
You asked me a question.
Hey, we're not going to invite Shad back.
You asked me a question. Did you not?
Hey, man, this ain't about you, my nigga. I've already addressed the people I'm addressing. Don't include yourself into this shit.
I didn't care nothing about what you had going on over there. You asked me.
So this ain't got nothing to do with you unless you included yourself on the side of them niggas.
You look like a quitter because you quit 2 times and you said it out your mouth.
All right, so you pushing the narrative.
No, I'm not pushing the narrative. I'm talking about that narrative.
This is a nigga supposed to be on my team that's saying I'm a quitter. And you brought the nigga on the show to give him a chance to say it in my face. Oh, yeah, that's your man.
What did you ask him?
No, I didn't ask him. I didn't talk to him after.
No, did you ask him?
He told me. He told me.
Did you? Wait, no, did you ask him?
He told me.
Fuck all that. Now I'm curious. You didn't ask for this nigga the whole time. First, I was just trolling because you quit on us in video games and said if you won, you would never play again. That to me.
All right, hey, Brandon.
That's what I was saying.
No, Brandon, you was there.
Brandon, did he say that out of his mouth in battle mode?
Who was winning the championship 4 or 5 weeks in a row, bro?
He did say that. So what I was saying,
it's all on film.
It's all on film. Why Shad not here? Why Shad not here?
Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
So it's all on film. Then when you're talking about Pat Bet, bro, you had Pat Bet. You asked for Pat Bet for a week.
I ain't asked for shit.
You did.
I ain't asked for shit. We get Steve on the line too.
We have it in the chat.
We can get Steve on the line too, bro.
Oh, he's scared. Nigga,
we can get
the Pat Bet shirt.
We can get Steve on. Because they called me the day before and told me to be on. They called me the day before. Are you cool with Pat coming on? I was like, why would niggas have Pat coming on? Well, I mean, I don't know, but they all right, whatever. All right, I went and got the shirt made that day.
Is this what y'all remember? So Pat Bet didn't cancel for fucking. Oh no. Pat Bev didn't cancel for a week, and
It's all good, man. Let's move
I
on.
don't know.
Let's move on, man. Yeah, let's move on. It's over.
I'm not
I
privy to
addressed
those.
my
I had the
shit.
shirt.
That's above my pay
I
grade.
addressed my shit.
Get out of here.
Get
out of here,
No
man.
problem. But don't try to bring
It's
other
cool.
bullshit to us.
It's cool. Ain't no us, nigga. Kenyon and Brandon respect.
You Pat Bev for fucking 2 weeks. Every
Hey,
time we say
Kenyon and Brandon don't believe I'm gonna quit.
8 weeks.
Kenyon and
What are
Brandon
you
don't believe
talking
I'm gonna quit. They don't believe I'm gonna quit.
You and your
Joe, you believe I'm a quitter?
Between y'all.
Hey, Joe,
You
do you believe I would? Joe,
try to pretend.
Joe, do you believe I would quit?
I do.
This is an interesting comment. It says, "This ain't argument worthy. What have men come to, bro?" Well, this is interesting, right? So you have people who are arguing over essentially nothing. There is no court of public opinion because none of this stuff was public before they made it public. There is no outsiders to even worry about because it's only between y'all. Matter of fact, none of us would have known what this was about because I didn't even know what it was about until they started talking. So no, this is not argument worthy. These are brothers in their feelings for no reason. Okay, you beat them in a video game. Who cares? Are y'all millionaires? Yes. Are you multimillionaires? Yes. Are you mega millionaires? Also, yes. So the money aspect, the provision aspect, the safety aspect, the privacy aspect is all taken care of. What are you over here arguing about this for? I'm not sure. I'm going to let it ride because I want to see if there's any resolution that can be had between two people who have a difference of opinions without it resorting to any of this. Is there a resolution that we can get as an audience from watching them do this? What's up, Cassie? How you doing? Nice to see you up in here. Classic said, this isn't even serious. It's not. Roxy laughing about the whole thing. It's like, come on now.
You do not believe I would quit. All right, cool. That's three. I think Nick feels the same way. It's all
God
good.
damn, dog. Stop trying to play us like that.
It's all good, man.
You had the shirt made for 2 fucking weeks.
No, I didn't.
Dragging that nigga. Oh, he's
My turnaround time is 2 hours. My turnaround time is you can't win this, Bill. You already showed your hand. You showed your hand, man.
God damn.
You showed your hand, bro.
Fucking changed the fucking schedule for 2 weeks because of that shit.
I changed the
What
schedule.
Pat Bev? Are we talking about the first Pat Bev for the season finale?
How I change any schedule when niggas get y'all got topics and shit, but I'm not even there. How I'm changing the schedule? I'm not even on when y'all talk about shit that I'm supposed to be talking about. How I'm changing? It's not even my show. So how do I have power over the schedule?
Are you gonna answer?
I want to know. Are you talking about the first Pat Bev appearance or the second one?
The first.
Oh, he came back twice, didn't he? Oh, he came back a second time, and I wasn't invited on the second time either. I had.
Okay. So I'm going to provide a little bit of clarity here. So this is about Pat Beverly's appearance on the platform, and this man was not on the platform with him. They have beef. If you guys didn't know, him and Beverly have beef, and he wanted Pat Beverly to come on the show so they could clear the beef on live and basically do it as a podcast. You know what I mean? I get that. What I don't really understand is why he has such an issue with the fact that Pat Beverly obviously doesn't want to talk to him. So he's upset that they're talking to Pat Beverly when he comes through, but he's not there, but they're cool with them. So, okay, I see where this is happening at. I can see why they have this issue. He thinks that they're being disloyal. They think that he's being sensitive. So that clears that up. That's what I gather from it. If y'all are gathering something else, please enlighten me, because like I said, I did not follow this. I'm just watching this one video. Working like always. Yeah, I hope I can help get you through your shift today as I try to also get through mine later with Classic. This doesn't sound any different than hearing teenagers or preteens argue over the air. Yeah, it doesn't. Hey, 333 tuning in late. What's up, Kira? How you doing? Nice to see you in here. Roxy said, now we get to it. Communication is the key. It always is, Roxy. It always is. But okay, so we're gonna keep on gathering some more information.
To show up.
Wait, didn't you make a special appearance on the first one?
I had to show. I wasn't invited to that show. I had to show up.
Huh? The first one?
I said it was a bad look if he don't come back. I was
Yeah,
like,
y'all
nigga,
said
on
that.
I said, oh, y'all fucked up.
The first
That man work.
On the first one.
The first one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Showed up on the second one with the whole theatrics of it. What's
Yeah.
bullshit? God damn, you had the whole fucking production set the shit up.
Hey, Kenyon, you remember you text me, K? You remember you text me, K?
Yeah.
You remember you text me?
Yeah.
I got the same text when I got from Steve, and you text me. I said, "Don't worry, I'm on my way, bro." They just told me what was going on. Hey, Paulo, make sure I get the smoke and turn the lights out when I show up. These niggas ain't even gonna know what's up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a whole. So the first one, you don't remember there was
It's
a problem.
all good, man. Why you keep diving into this?
A problem going on in the arena.
Defending the wrong
There
shit,
was a
man.
problem going on in the arena, right at the end.
I'm a quitter.
Certain people could work with each other.
I'm a quitter.
Okay.
And we already had the schedule. We scheduled Rashad for Pat Bev on that last Thursday, but he flaked on it.
Who flaked on it? Who flaked?
On the Thursday. I said,
who flaked?
Pat Bev.
Oh, Pat Bev. You ain't call him a quitter?
Pat Bev quit. He didn't
Oh,
he didn't say out his mouth that he did that on a video game. That was a video game conversation you had with us. Am I lying, Brandon? Can you please? That's what he said with us, right?
Brandon, save him. Brandon, can you please?
Go ahead. Y'all go.
Can you please?
So it was supposed to be a Thursday. Then you started talking shit all week, or that whole weekend. And then our schedule we had for the week. You remember Miko? She was falling on the day fucking Pat Bev confirmed. So we had to cancel her, tell her, hey, Rashad wants to be on that. And that's how that episode came.
Hey, Brandon, why was you on that episode, Brandon?
I was on the episode because it was our last episode.
You was on that episode because he mentioned both of our names, nigga.
So both of y'all got
it was the last show of the year though. Yeah.
So that was the last show, and he mentioned both of our names. So we don't remember us having a conversation like, "Yo, what's up with this nigga Pat Bev? Why he on this shit?"
Okay. Yep. And I asked.
Shit, they about to bring him on the show. Oh, we got some shit to address.
Right. And I asked Pat.
Well, Chicago and Pat Bev probably has a different way of dealing with things than they would, but that's just how it works. He probably said, "I don't want to talk to him," and they said, "Okay, what about the rest of us? Y'all cool. I don't want to talk to him though." They didn't invite him on that day, or they started at a time when he wasn't going to be there. I see what's going on here, but we need more.
I said, "What do I know?" And
But wait, I'm talking about before that. When I was at your crib, we were smoking. We was talking about this situation.
Okay.
The day before.
The day before. Okay. The day before. The day before. But the motherfucker just said he just found out that day. Hey, man,
No, that was the second time I found out that day. The second time I found out the day of.
Yeah, Ken. You remember back then, Brandon and Shad had to be on one episode. You and Miko had to be. The reason Miko wasn't on the episode, even though she was part of the show. Like, stop. Dude, well, listen, the problem you have with them, dog, that's your business. We don't give a fuck. But don't try to pretend we're against you or what. Like, come on. I have my own.
I'm not pretending about shit. I asked y'all all the questions. I asked y'all all the questions.
They asked me on an interview.
I asked y'all all the questions. I asked all y'all the question. Y'all gave me the answer. That's all I said.
And I gave you my answer because of what?
I don't care what you gave me your answer because of what. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm dressing the public and my perception of what these niggas out here lying about. So if you can't contribute to that, cool. I'm going. Hey, this ain't about. I'm just letting know. I'm letting niggas know. I'm letting niggas know. I'm taking the gloves off. I'm taking the gloves off.
And then something said, and you like, all right, am I a thief?
Right. So Rashad, I think you should have been took the gloves off, nigga. Like,
I know, but look, I think you should have
took the gloves off. Veteran Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin has said it the best. Why are you censoring yourself? No one has asked you to censor yourself. Maybe the reason why you're in the situation right now is because you're censoring yourself. If no one asked you to censor yourself, no one appreciates you being censored. Why would you then censor yourself? I live by a rule, right? And my rule is very simple. I'm going to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and how many times every day. And if that leads to me having a great life, then that's my life to have. That does not mean that I'm going to infringe on somebody's rights. It doesn't mean that I'm going to, make somebody feel terrible or anything like that. It's nothing nefarious. It literally is just me wanting to have a good life. And there is nothing wrong with me wanting to have a good life. There's nothing wrong for me to want to choose for myself. I hear so many people talk about human rights every single day that I just think sometimes like, okay, but what about mine? Don't I have the right to happiness? Don't I have the right to freedom? Don't I have the right to love? Don't I have the right to do whatever I want? Yes, I do. And I choose to exercise my unalienable God-given rights. Why should I listen to anybody else when I have a perfectly good brain on my own? I think you should do this. Well, I think that I'm going to do what I want to do. And if it just so happens to be the exact same thing that you think that I should do, then hey, we both win. But really, I win. I win every time I do what I want. And so do you. So do they. So does everyone. You win every time you do what you want. It is your most authentic self. We spend so much time being worried about what people aren't doing versus what they are doing that we miss the point. The point is, are they being real with what they're doing? Or is it performative? Is it an act? Is it a semblance of something? Is it fake? If someone is always themselves, that means they're always genuine, right? They can even be genuinely bad or genuinely good or, genuinely anything. But as long as it's genuine, you can tell. If you should be able to tell. But if you can't tell, it's because maybe you're not being genuine somewhere in your life. Here's the uncomfortable thing about things that are being that are genuine. Sometimes they're uncomfortable. Sometimes they're unrefined, unpolished, a little bit rough around the edges, if you get what I'm saying. But it's genuine, it's real, and it's natural. I have a problem with this argument that they're having. My problem with this argument is that I don't think either of them are being very genuine. I think one of them is telling the truth. I think the other one is telling their truth, but it isn't necessarily genuine. Now, if you have to come to a situation, let's say that I was in, I don't know, a boxing match. If I'm in a boxing match and I say, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wear 18-ounce gloves, which are training gloves. I'm going to wear 18-ounce gloves, make my hands heavier. I'm going to give you 12-ounce gloves and then, just tee off on me to give you a shot because I can swing faster and harder than you. That's disingenuous. You're not really training that person. You're just letting that person feel as if they have caught up to you. You have given them an equalizer, so to say. Well, sometimes things aren't equal and sometimes things aren't fair. And that's just how it is. You don't have to like it. It doesn't even mean that it's right, but it is real. And sometimes right isn't real. Sometimes wrong isn't real. Sometimes real is just real. And sometimes it sucks a lot. But you deal with it and you endure. Or you don't. But just don't pretend. I'm gonna watch a little bit more of this, but I've pretty much gathered my opinion on this already.
I know, but
you know what we got going on, nigga. I'm not the dumb nigga. I'm not emotional.
That's why I said at times, like I don't play well in the sandbox, so I'm glad, you're saying because you have taken a higher road of
That's facts, Kenyon. Loner City.
All of this than I would have, so I commend you in that regard. I would have been took the fucking gloves off, yeah.
It's just boring. It's boring at this point. Niggas taking shots, niggas telling lies. I'm cool on all that, man. I'm gonna start with the jokes, and when I start with the jokes, it's gonna get personal. Niggas gonna feel some type of way.
So are they getting personal? So wait, hold on. So are they getting personal with you outside of it, or is this hoop talk? Is this just hoop talk, or this is more than just hoop now?
Ain't no hoop talk when you lying, and the reason you lying is because you hate me because you don't want me to tell the people why. I don't want to get into all that he say, she say shit about why a nigga feel a certain type of way about me.
I would.
I don't do that shit. That's
me,
man.
I'm about to clear
my shit. I would too. What are you talking about? I don't want to get into the he said, she said. Well, he said it and she said it, right? He said it and she said it. Let's go. Because all you're doing right now is
Shadow, relax, Shadow. Shadow.
That's all you're doing right now. Just go for it. Just go for it. It's way easier when you say what you mean. Just say what you mean. I got thicker skin than that. That's what they telling him right now.
I don't need to clear. If a nigga believe that I'm a quitter, you don't fuck with me. If a nigga believe I'm a quitter, I hope you don't fuck with me.
You slinging mud, that's sling mud. That's my thing.
If we're gonna talk hoop, let's talk hoop.
Yeah, but if you talk about
ain't none of them niggas can fuck with me in hoop. None of these niggas that's ever spoke my name ain't never could fuck with me.
No, but I'm a firm believer in you can't dictate my response neither. So that's my thing. You say something to me, you can't dictate my response and my reply. So you talk a hoop, you say one thing, and I invite you to the square. That's just what it is. So I get it, bro. I don't fault you one minute for speaking up. So.
It's a man, baby.
I think it should have been time.
No,
On that note,
I don't care about that. The fact that this nigga trying to make it personal with me, even though he said that shit on the video
Nobody
game.
made shit
He
personal
made
with
that
you.
shit on the
Nigga.
video game, but trying to pretend that what I'm saying has to do with that shit. That's my
Man,
fucking
you
problem.
are the only nigga on there that said that you
Get
thought
out of
I
here.
was a
I know
quitter.
you talking about.
Yeah,
I know.
Brandon,
one at a time, fellas, one at a time.
for you to even agree with him,
I'm
I mean, you don't fuck with me
I'm
because you know what happened.
I'm
You
agreeing.
know why
I'm
I wasn't invited back to the fucking back. You know ain't nobody fucking quit when you niggas was filming without telling me that y'all
So,
filming, and then all of a sudden,
Brandon,
come on, man, stop that shit.
So let me play devil's advocate. Hold on.
Brandon,
Stop that shit. PJ, you know what's up, man.
conversation that we was having in video games.
Okay,
It's a
cool.
video
Let me-
game
So
conversation.
all right, well, no, it's not. Let me do this. Chill. Let me do this. Hold on, Gil.
He's trying to do bullshit. Brandon,
Let me just
explain what you heard, Brandon.
Okay, Brandon, explain what you heard,
I heard that.
and I'm gonna give
Once
y'all
I
my
beat
opinion.
you, I'm not playing you no more.
Okay, cool.
That's
This
what
is
I
right.
heard.
That's
is right.
That was all I'm
This is
saying.
right.
And then it had to do something with the 3-point competition,
Cool.
right?
That's 2 times.
Okay. Yeah, it was 2 times.
But-
So that was it.
Hey.
But that has nothing to do with what they talking about.
He just asked me, Kenyon, and I was
Well,
showing
let
him
me-
because of those.
Yeah, but let me tell you, well, Gil, let me tell you, I'm gonna be the one to tell you. Don't nobody else tell you at time, nigga. It was terrible fucking timing. Like, he didn't want to hear that shit right now. This shit he got going on way deeper than that video game shit. So right
Yeah, see, so something else involved. 9 times out of 10, anytime that you take offense to something small or something slight is because you have a bigger problem going on in your life. Now, they said a whole bunch more stuff in this video. And actually, you know what? Let's just get there. Let's just move it forward a little bit.
Some people aren't.
some people not. Everybody ain't built that way. Like, I tell y'all all the time on the couch, I ain't into turning cheeks. So all you gonna do is slap me another one. That's just everybody.
This shit going too far, man. This shit going.
That's all.
Anybody supposed to go this deep, man? It's supposed to be out of here by now. We cool. I
He
addressed.
said I'm not into turning
like I
cheeks
said.
because you're gonna slap
I
me
ain't
up.
no ducker, ain't no quitter, and niggas want to find out. Come see me, man. That's it.
Hey man, how about this? We should stop bringing that personal. If you want to talk personal and shit, do that shit on your own page. How about that? So we don't have to worry about it. You know, because if we can't comment and troll, then what the fuck are we doing anyway? Right?
You can, Gil.
You contributed. You contributed.
Timing.
You contributed. You contributed.
And now
You
we can't do
contributed.
it.
I say you can't say this bad timing.
I'm quitting.
Gil has removed himself from the arena. I was gonna
So
say
now
let's end the show on a positive note.
So now they can upload the thing because this asshole didn't left. Like, dude, like
They still
what
got
we doing here,
99% K, but I want to end the show. Everybody say something
What we
positive.
doing?
Feedback. Everybody say something positive about each other before we leave.
Hey,
I'm back out just bullshitting.
on a more positive note, hey, B.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
Shaw was part of that losing twosome yesterday when I got JC glove, just FYI. Hey,
Bring
I got nigga glove.
You know what?
Hey, Kenyon.
expensive glove.
Hey, Kenyon. Did I quit?
Let's just fight them.
No,
Did I quit?
no.
You know what? Hey,
Play
He
the whole
won't
shit,
let
right?
it go
hey,
even
we
now.
gonna fight y'all. Us 3 against you 4.
He won't let it go even now.
Who? Which who?
This
Who?
3, Gil, as you know, I'm a man
Fight
of
who?
peace. I'm a man of peace and
Fight who?
tranquility.
Them 3 niggas up there. So like you guys can handle about 2.5.
Show battle.
Dang, you said 2.5?
Project managed. But I appreciate you saying your piece. Obviously, like I said, I
get
saw
that
the
shit off your
clips.
chest, my nigga.
I see a lot of stuff on the internet. I don't tend to care about my business.
I
but
was
I'm glad you
referring
addressed
to
what you had to
fighting
address.
a man.
And then with people that think, and another note, I ain't got no problem with Chad. They was talking about something, me and him made a friendly wager about some cigars. And they mentioned my name and Rashad's name in this on a nightcap thing, and they wanted me to come on the show and this, that, and the third. But like I laugh and joke, told Chad, you 5'10", I'll jab your face off. So you don't want no action with me. I'm too tall. I'm 6'9", bro. I'm 6'9".
What if?
What if what? If somebody come with some money for a celebrity boxing match, I'll put the smoke down and get in some real motherfucking shape and jab his goddamn face off.
Well, just so happens, we know a company
Man,
that has the ways and means.
Put the money
Higher
up.
lowers.
Hey, there's a number. Hey, there's a number out there to put me. Hey, I get active, but trust me. Trust me.
Going on the internet, man.
Hey,
Sorry,
I'm just saying,
y'all.
we made a weird, friendly wager over some cigars, but he told me that he was gonna whoop my ass if I didn't pay him, and I said I ain't paying. Now what?
On that note,
So you can't beat me. So that's the thing. Like niggas, you can't beat me.
Can we all stay in unison so we can wrap up the show? Thank you.
Brandon, we gotta wait.
Everybody get your cameras fixed. We gotta wait for the video upload, but appreciate everybody in the chat.
Nobody, man.
Appreciate everybody in the chat.
We'll jab his goddamn face off, though, but I ain't got no issues.
Well,
trust me. Jab his goddamn face off.
Once again, we are all friends again, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody in the chat.
I should Cordial to the female, nigga. You got this jab in this stick, boy. Your face is right there.
Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody pulling up virtually. This has been another episode of Gil's Virtual Arena presented by Underdog. Whoa, whoa. We will see y'all tomorrow.
Less drama.
So this didn't even get said. He's still mad. They didn't get through any of it, and there was no agreement at the end because he's in his feelings. And I get it. You're in your feelings, bro, but they're telling you there ain't no real reason to be in your feelings except you want to talk to this dude so bad. I don't know. Call him out on the internet or call his phone, but to go at your people like that, come on. I'm not choosing sides because I don't really care. But the point is, if you're gonna have an attitude about what another man chose to do, then you probably, I don't know, live with him, marry him, who knows? Let's not do that though. Let's just mind our own business when it's time to mind our business.
Just blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
So we got to move on in the show today, guys. Just to finish that one up, think about it for a little bit. The next time that you think that you're having a disagreement, why don't you take a step back and then ask yourself, what am I even disagreeing about in the first place? If you can ask yourself, what am I even disagreeing? Am I disagreeing to have the option of disagreeing, or am I disagreeing because I genuinely believe in what I'm saying? And I guarantee you 99% of the time with most people, they don't even believe in what they're disagreeing about. They just talking. He said, on the set. All right, guys.
A number of people.
This is gonna be the finals area that we're gonna go through today. And over the last couple of weeks, we have been talking about society. This isn't just a society that benefits men. It isn't just a society that benefits women. We want the society to benefit the majority of us when we do the things that follow the societal norms or alleles or all of these traits that we could definitely gain. 1 + 1 is supposed to be 2. That's supposed to be a universal truth. What we're finding out is sometimes working harder actually is working against your goal. Sometimes the things that we want are not good for us and our future. And a lot of the time, to make things right, we have to make them unequal somewhere else. This is the myth of equality and the myth of, and I like to say it this way. When you say equality, 99% of the time, in my opinion, I believe that what you mean is equilateral. Equilateral is not the same as equality. It's not. Equilateral means equal opportunity, which means that there are no deciding factors here that would make your experience easier than mine. That's not equality. That's equilateral. Well, just because the door is open does not mean that I even have a road to get there. If you live next to it and I live down the road and there is no road, you're going to get there before me. That's equality. And that's why we have issues today. There's a scientist that we're going to watch. He's written a couple of papers about this, about the decline of man, the decline of manhood, and the decline of masculinity in Western nations. While we're talking about protecting women over the last few weeks, we need to also speak as to why they may need protection and if you're even equipped as a man to do so. So this might not go in the direction that many of you may think. So if you're someone that came here today thinking that I'm about to dump all over women, you found the wrong show. We don't do that here. We just call it how it is. And we're going to watch and see what he's talking about. I read the description, but we're going to watch and see what he's discovered and what he's found out and the facts that he's given us. And if there is a scholar in the chat that wants to fact check it as best as possible while you are alive, I mean, there's probably a device in front of you that has the computing power of, I don't know, several warehouses. You could probably find the answers that you're looking for while we watch it live. But we're going to watch it live. I haven't watched it yet. I'm about to. So are you. Let's change the banner first because that debacle is over. I don't think there was ever a clear, decisive winner there. So let's go.
Warned me against writing a book about boys and men because it's such a fraught subject, particularly in politics right now, and because so many people were afraid that merely drawing attention to the problems of boys and men was implying somehow less effort being paid to girls and women.
Is that a fact? If we tackle men's issues, for example, November we did Men's Mental Health Month, and so one of the things we found out during Men's Mental Health Month is that the majority of men that are in the field are leaving the field, but more men need therapists more than ever. So the male therapists are leaving, and more men need therapy more than ever. Is something getting replaced here? What's really happening, and what's really causing this? We found out a lot of different numbers about the self-deletion that has been going on and running rampant in the country, and that the rates that the men are doing so. Why? What environmental factors, what societal changes could cause an entire mass of people to suddenly shift an ideology and suddenly change? Vice versa, why should we care?
Framed as a zero sum, and it's sort of a whose side are you on question, and you have to be on one side or the other rather than just being on the side of human flourishing. One of the real challenges here is that if there are men missing from certain crucial areas of our society and our economy, that makes it harder for other men and boys to flourish in those areas. We have an education system that has a dearth of male teachers. We have a labor market where the jobs that are growing fastest are ones where we have the fewest men. And in families, there's the growth in what you might call the dad deficit or fatherlessness. As men are struggling in each of those areas, what you'll see is it'll be harder for other men to follow in their footsteps. It's harder for boys to flourish if their fathers aren't engaged. It's harder for men to enter occupations where there aren't men. It's harder for boys to do well at school where there are no male teachers to be seen. And so there's a very real danger that unless we act quite...
So this brings up the representation question all over again. Does representation matter? Does Black representation matter? Does your specific racial ethnicity and demographic on geography, does that matter? Does it matter? I'm believing that it does. I believe that especially it matters between males and females of our species. So we're gonna, you know what? It's that time, y'all. It's that time. We're gonna need a stretch down on the TezDown. Let's go. I felt it. So I had to pause it. Let's get it in. Stretch all the way out. Get those arms out. Yeah. Make the ugly face. Ooh. Ain't nobody looking but me. Make the ugly face. Or knows I'm about to. Ain't another stretch is good. Let's bring that left arm over. Same thing with the right arm. Let's go. Everybody's favorite time. Let's roll that neck. Get at least 10. Other way now. Got that back if you can. Yeah. Give me a deep breath. Let it out. Let's go. I'm ready for the rest of this. Now. Let's get it. All right. Yeah, you see how much stretching energizes your body? Yeah, let's go. Go ahead and get this water in. Let's go. Electrolytes, y'all. They do help. I've been moving around a lot. Let's go.
Soon that we will set in train something of a vicious cycle. I'm Richard Reeves. I'm a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, and my latest book is Of Boys and Men, Why the Modern Male is Struggling, Why That Matters, and What to Do About it. The overall picture is that on almost every measure, at almost every age, and in almost every advanced economy in the world, the girls are leaving the boys way behind, and the women leaving the men. What nobody expected was that girls and women wouldn't just catch up. to boys and men in education, but would blow right past them and keep going. Everyone was very focused, quite rightly, on getting to gender equality, getting to gender parity. It's not that long ago where there was a huge gender gap the other way, and there was huge focus, correctly, in the 70s and 80s to really promote women and girls in education. But the line just kept going, and nobody predicted that. Nobody was saying, what if gender inequality reemerges in just as big a way as now, in some cases bigger, but the other way around? And to some extent, everyone's still trying to get their head around this new world where, at least in education, when you talk about gender inequality, you're pretty much always talking about the ways in which girls and women are ahead of boys and men. And that's happened in a very, very short period of human history. So if you look at the US, for example, in the average school district in the US, girls are almost a grade level ahead of boys in English and have caught up in math. If we look at those with the highest GPA scores, the top 10%, 2/3 of those are girls. If we look at those at the bottom, 2/3 of those are boys. When it comes to going to college, there's a 10% gap in college enrollment, a similar size gap in completing college, conditional on enrolling. And the result of those trends is that the gender gap in getting a college degree is now wider than it was in 1972, but the other way around. So in 1972, when Title IX was passed to promote more gender equality in education, there was a 13 percentage point gap in favor of men getting college degrees. Now there's a 15 percentage point gap in favor of women getting college degrees. So the gender inequality we see in college today is wider than it was 50 years ago. It's just the other way around. There's quite a fierce debate about the differences between male and female brains. And in adulthood, I think there's not much evidence that the brains are that different in ways that we should worry about or that are particularly consequential. But where there's no real debate is in the timing of brain development. It is quite clear that girls' brains develop more quickly than boys' brains do, and that the biggest difference seems to occur in adolescence. So what happens is in adolescence, we develop what neuroscientists call the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex of our brain is sometimes known as the CEO of the brain. It's the bit of your brain that says you should do your chemistry homework rather than going out to party. It's the bit of your brain that says it is worth maintaining a high GPA because it will help you get to college, which might help you in the future. And that bit of the brain develops considerably earlier in girls than in boys, between 1 and 2 years earlier, partly because girls go into puberty a bit earlier than boys, and that seems to trigger some of this development. What that means is if you have an education system that rewards the ability to turn in homework, stay on task, worry about your GPA, prepare for college and so on, then just structurally, that's going to put an advantage the group whose brains have developed earlier in those particular areas. And that turns out on average to be girls. I think it's a great irony of women's progress that by taking the brakes off women's educational opportunities and aspirations, we've revealed the fact that the education system is slightly structured against boys and men because of these differences in the timing of brain development. But it took the women's movement to show that, because the natural advantages of women in education were impossible to see when women's aspirations were being capped by a sexist society. Now that those caps have been largely removed, we can see that it's boys and men who are at a disadvantage in the education system. At the risk of sounding boring, let's collect the data first so we know what we're dealing with here. I do think that we should be strongly encouraging boys to start school a year later than girls. I think that should become the default in many school districts because of the developmental gap that there is between boys and girls. Because boys' brains mature more slowly, then them starting school a year later would mean that they were developmentally closer to being peers with the girls in the classroom. We need a lot more male teachers. It's striking that the teaching profession has become steadily more female over time. Only 24% of K-12 teachers now are male. That's down from 33% in the 80s.
That's less than a
fewer
quarter.
men are applying to teacher training year on year. And so we've seen this steady shift towards a close to an all-female environment. That has all kinds of consequences for the ethos of the school, for the way we deal with different kinds of behavior among boys and girls, for example. And so we need a very serious and intentional effort to get more men into teaching. The third thing I would do in this world where I have significant power to dictate policies would be significantly more investment in vocational education and training. That is an area where we do seem to see better results for boys and men on average, and one that's woefully underinvested in the US. The US has really bet most of its dollars on a very academic, a very narrow route towards success, and less emphasis on vocational training. And that has actually put boys and men at a disadvantage. So apprenticeships, technical high schools are actually a really good way to help more boys and men. I think one of the challenges with this debate is that if you're talking to women and men who are, say, at the top of the economic ladder, 4-year college degrees, decent incomes, they look around and they don't see some of these issues. But that's not the same for working class men. That's not the same for men lower down the economic ladder. So there's a danger that we're so busy, to borrow Sheryl Sandberg's phrase, so busy leaning in that we don't look down. The reality for men further down the ladder is very different.
So what we're finding out here is that fundamentally, we created our own problem. Well, I say we, I wasn't there, so can't blame me, but fundamentally, we created our own problem. First, you have a group of people who are deemed as oppressed, and then you unoppress them. So they're now outpacing you after you unoppress them. But the pacing is not set for you because it used to be set for you, but they excel at it because they're farther down the line, educationally, because they can grow faster. That's just how it works. They start puberty earlier. Their brains are developing at a quicker rate. And so the same standard test that I'm going to take at age, 9, is probably not the same, as a 9-year-old girl if I was 9 years old. This is interesting information that I haven't heard before. Everyone's always said that, women, progress faster as far as maturing. Everyone's always said that, everywhere that I've ever been. This is the first time that I've seen someone give this type of information and science behind it as to why that is.
The economic trends for men have turned downwards along 4 dimensions. One is wages. Most men today earn less than most men did in 1979. In employment, with a drop in labor force participation of 8 percentage points, which means 9 million men now of prime age are not working. We've seen a drop in occupational stature. And so there are now more men working in employment areas which are seen as lower status than they were in the past. And we've also seen a drop in the acquisition of skills, the kinds of skills and education that boys and men need. If boys don't get educated and men don't get skilled, they will struggle in the labor market. And across all of those domains, we've seen a downwards turn for men in the last 4 or 5 decades. And so the way in which social class divides have opened up, economic inequality has widened, is really important to understand in the context of gender inequality. If we only focus on gender gaps, then we miss the fact that both men and women at the top have done increasingly well, but that's much less true of everybody else, and especially it's less true of those from lower income backgrounds, working class boys and men, and black boys and men. You see many of those trends are amplified, and so those boys and men are really at the sharpest end of many of the social and economic changes. On the one hand, we have a huge and successful and laudable effort to get more women into STEM jobs, so science, technology, engineering, and math. On the other side, we have what I call HEAL jobs. So that's health, education, administration, and literacy, almost, if you like, the opposite side of the coin to STEM jobs. Mm-hmm. That's where a lot of the jobs are coming from. Health and education alone are huge and growing sectors in the US. And so by my estimates, for every 1 job we're going to create in STEM between now and 2030, we're going to create 3 in HEAL jobs. But those jobs are at least as gender segregated as STEM jobs, but in the other direction. And unlike STEM, becoming more so over time. So if you look at the HEAL sector, only 24% of the workers in those sectors are male, and that number is falling. And in particular sectors, we're seeing a really precipitous drop in the number of men. We have a drop in the number of male teachers. We have a very sharp drop in the number of male psychologists. That's dropped from 39% male to 29% male in the last decade alone. And among psychologists under the age of 30, only 5% are male. So we roll that forward, and we're going to see psychology becoming essentially almost an all-female profession. So these jobs, which are both crucial, I think, for society, and where it'd be very useful to have more diversity, are actually becoming more gender segregated. And so we have absolutely no effort to get more men into HEAL jobs, which is where I think the future lies and where we should be helping men to move. One of the problems that we face is what I call in the book a dad deficit. And that can be seen in various different ways. So 1 in 4 fathers don't live with their children. If parents split up, they're much more likely to lose contact with their fathers and with their mothers. And so 1 in 3 children, if their parents split up, don't see their father at all after a few years post the separation. So this fatherlessness is something that's very, very specific. And when 4 in 10 children are born outside marriage, and most children to less educated parents are born outside marriage, then we have to reinvent what it means to be a father. Because right now, men are still being held to an old standard of what it meant to be a successful father in a world where that is neither possible for many of them or even desirable. Because what we've seen is as women have grown in economic power and economic independence, then of course they're going to choose to be with a man rather than being forced to, as in the old days. This is probably the greatest liberation in human history, honestly, that women can now choose whether to be with a man or not. More than 2 out of 5 households in the US now, a woman is the main breadwinner. 40% of American women earn more than the average man. These are huge economic changes and all for the good, but it does pose some really sharp questions about what fathers are for. And until we escape the obsolete model of the breadwinner father, then we will continue to see more and more men being left out of family life. And the kicker is that boys in families that don't have a father presence suffer much more than girls. And so then what happens is that male disadvantage can become intergenerational, because if the fathers are struggling and therefore not really involved in the kids' lives, then the boys are the ones who suffer most, who will then go on to struggle themselves in education and the labor market.
It's really kind of hard to argue that. You know, we're gonna stop him here, but it's really kind of hard to argue that. It really is. Fathers need to be more active in their kids' lives. Women are outpacing men in the workforce in multiple areas, especially in the STEM and heal areas. You do see a sharp decline in males working in these. Usually, they're less labor intensive positions. You know, working in offices, in becoming CEOs and doing things like that. And I'm all for it. You know, women do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. I'm just saying, guys, we got to figure out a way to, I don't know, do something about for ourselves and push ourselves harder. If the system's already geared towards you, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. You know, I do believe that. Or we change the way that our society works. Is that possible? Is it possible to change the way that society works? Is the breadwinner father obsolete? Well, kind of, yeah. Look at what we hear every day. We hear every day. I did a whole series about we don't need you. I did a whole series about it. People telling men they don't need them. And again, what do they need us for other than biology? It's an unfortunate truth. 2026 and everything that we have, all the technology that we have, all of the conveniences that we've gone through life, they've taught us to do one thing: forget that we need each other. It's kind of sad. We forget that we need each other. That there cannot be a me if there was never one of you, and vice versa. We forget that we need each other, and then we war with each other. There shouldn't be a gender war. We should be working together. You shouldn't feel afraid of every man that you walk down the street and see. You shouldn't have an issue with trying to pick a bear over a man. We shouldn't be worried about AI robots and chatbot creatures on the internet. That's not natural. These are not things that we were made for. It isn't. Let's see what's going on here. We got some chat. Let's get to the chat before I get up out of here. Passports goes to hit the like and subscribe and share button. Conversation Soft Rain said, yeah, stretch. Roxy said, yes. Rob FRC said, go to college. Wait, bad idea. Get into the trades. Whoops, that didn't work either. You need to get into STEM, obviously. A few years later, whoops, STEM stagnant. Now you need to adapt to heal. Hey, the scam never stops rolling. Rob, I am not disagreeing with you at all. I am not disagreeing with you at all. It's just how it is. That's my perspective. I don't disagree. McKinnon says breadwinners in general are obsolete unless you are extremely lucky. We don't live in that world anymore. This is a team sport now and isn't likely to change. And a slacking team member is an issue. I have no problem with you saying that, McKinnon, because it's the truth. It's the truth. We are supposed to work together. What does Classic always say? They need to have some skin in the game. Roxy said, agree, we do need each other. I am learning this because I was always one of those ones where I said, I don't need you. And you're not alone in saying that to people. You know what I mean? Like I said, I did a whole series called We Don't Need You. I did a whole series called We Don't Need You. It was literally people telling men that they don't need them. And nobody wanted to really argue about it. I don't know if you guys remember that series, but it was a good one. It was literally called We Don't Need You. You know, I want everyone to like sit back and say, what happens? What do I actually feel like if I don't need them? What happens then? Because I don't think that it's I don't think that it's where you think it's going to be. I don't think you're going to like that very much. You know, maybe go back and start to ask the questions to yourselves. What happens if I never ever get any of this? What happens if I just stick to my laurels and I never get any of this, and I'm going to be unhappy forever. Are you okay with that? Is that something that is good for you? I just want to know. These are all the videos that this series is on. You guys can go down here and see. There's a whole series on these. Literally, a whole series on these where we talked about this. Look at this. Throwback Thursday, Throwing It Back Part 2. You know, we did that one. Whose choice is it? Accountability Batwoman. You know, where they're telling you that they don't have accountability issues, both on all sides, as you can see. Toxic environments, you know, harsh reality of universal truth is in there. There's a whole series about we don't need you. I should probably put it in a whole thing because it's so real. I don't think they care, Roxy. But that's just how it is, guys. Think about it. The next time that you start thinking that you don't need them, ask what would happen if I never had any of them in my life. What if I didn't think about there's a fairy tale? What if there is no fairy tale for me to even have a dream about? What if it didn't exist? Maybe your quality of life will go down. Maybe it will go up. I don't know how people think for the most part, but I think that we need each other. I think that we need to work together. And I think that people just need to get comfortable doing what's necessary to be done, however that works in your individual situation. But have a conversation about it with the person if you're trying to make it with one person or two or three, whatever you get down with. I'm not telling nobody what to do. I'm just saying have those real conversations. Stop letting that stuff get built up. You don't need to be emotional about it. Sometimes things are just facts. Sometimes things are just true. Sometimes there's no real feeling at all. It's just, hey, this is what I think it is. Is it that or is it not? But only time will tell. You know, I appreciate everybody for coming through here today. I don't have time for chat Q&A today, or pretty much anything. I don't have time for much of anything today. It's going to be a busy day for me. I appreciate that. You guys, make sure you check out the Classic Codes this afternoon. I believe there's a No Middleman tonight as well. You guys can check both of those out. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Take care of your people. I'm Tez. I'm 2-4. This is the TezDown, and I'll see you in another 24.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.